I've been thinking a lot about, American politics, and it does seem particularly, and I'm in England and there's all sorts going on there as well, but there's a kind of a vividness, a luridness to American politics at present. But my question is that are these events not necessarily anomalous, but merely exaggerations, merely greater revelations of conditions that have always been present? To put bluntly, whilst Donald Trump might seem especially terrifying, is he not merely an amplification of conditions and ideologies that have long existed?
Well, two things. First of all, if you have two major political parties, both of whom set the idea of the businessman up to be God, then it shouldn't surprise anyone from a metaphysical perspective that the worst kind of devilish perversion of that image would appear on the scene.
Wow.
That was created by that. But secondly, we had reached a point in our society where we thought we had a consensus. It's not like anyone thought racism, bigotry, anti-Semitism, homophobia, misogyny, xenophobia didn't exist in America. But we thought we had reached a consensus that there were lines past which we would not go. We thought we had reached a consensus that no major political institution, any political party, etc., would give a serious political megaphone to those forces. One party thought, well, we'll bring them in just because they'll vote for us and then we'll moderate them once they get in, which didn't work. And also with social media, and then you have someone like President Trump who's willing to harness all that for political purposes, and you have the kind of crisis that we have now. But once again, and I think that those of us in the spiritual community have a lot to look at in ourselves, because none of this came out of nowhere. None of this could have happened had we not taken democracy for granted, had we not thought somebody else, I'm not political, somebody else will handle that. That's what we've learned about this. We've learned how naive we were. You can never take democracy for granted. It's just like health, and that's why this is a perfect place to be discussing this. You have to take care of your nutrition. You have to take care of your exercise. You have to take care of your spiritual path, your lifestyle, all kinds of things. You can't not cultivate health. Just wait till sickness almost inevitably arises and seek through allopathic means alone to just eradicate or suppress the symptoms. That model of allopathic medicine has now given way to an integrative approach. We need to do that with society. You can't not cultivate justice, not cultivate mercy, not cultivate democracy, not cultivate compassion, not look at mass incarceration because it's not in your neighborhood, not look at wealth inequality because it's not in your neighborhood, not look at what's happening to the food supply because you can drink green juice. You can't do that and then be all shocked when this explosion of dysfunction and anti-democratic assault happens. Now, it's the 11th hour. We can handle this. I think we're going to move through this, but we have to change. And that includes taking responsibility as citizens for our part in it getting to this point. We have to change. Martin Luther King said there have to be, we need quantitative, external quantitative changes in our circumstances and qualitative changes in our souls. We all have to be the immune cells now. And I think this awakening is happening. I'm not saying this from a place of thinking it's not happening, because I think actually it is happening. I think that the Trump phenomenon and the crisis in our democracy right now has caused a lot of awakening. But this awakening must be permanentized, because if we don't, first of all, if we don't have this awakening, we won't defeat these forces even temporarily. If we are temporary with our awakening, then even if we, let's say, defeat the president, that hydra has many heads. We have to remain awake. Citizenship has to become a part of our sense of what it is to be a conscious human being on a whole new level for the sake of your children and the sake of mine.
I really like that rant. Thanks for watching this podcast and going all the way to the end of it. Would you so kind as to click the bell, it might not be there, over there, and subscribing so that we can infiltrate your serenity and peace of mind with jangling bells and buzzes. Thank you.